Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Debbie and I read a lot of books. For those who have been before, you'll probably be aware that my fringe is getting very long. It is being cut like next week, so it's fine. But it is that point when I'm just like, I can't see. So it's going to the side now. So I've got another audiobook for you. This one is The Little Italian Hotel by Phaedra Patrick. Phaedra. I've heard it both ways. On this book they kept saying Phaedra, so there we go. So let's get in with the blurb for you. Ginny Splinter is a real people person, taking pride in the advice she offers to listeners of her popular Just Ask Ginny radio show. With the perfect home life too, she's sure her husband Adrian will love the surprise trip to Italy she's planned for their 25th wedding anniversary. However, Adrian has his very own unexpected gift for his wife: a divorce. Determined to stay positive, Ginny takes to the air to invite 4 heartbroken listeners to join her on holiday instead. From hiking the hills of Bologna to sharing a gondola in Venice and dancing until dawn, the trip offers Jenny and her guests the chance to heal their heartache and to change all their lives forever. This was such a lovely book to listen to when we were going through a heatwave, and then I finished it on a day that looked fairly miserable. It was still warm, but it was very cloudy and quite humid, like storms are brewing, which actually, for what part of the book I was at, kind of made sense, because it was just as we were getting to like the slight twist and as things kind of, like when there was like the knife in the works. The fact that I finished it on a day that wasn't particularly sunny was just like, oh, I wish I was still reading it. In the heatwave. Yeah, it's in contemporary fiction, in humorous, duration 8 hours 19 minutes, and I read it on a 1.5 speed. And this was, yeah, it was just lovely to listen to it while I was walking around the grounds at work, because I could just smell all the flowers and things, and it just made me feel like I was on holiday when it's definitely a few months. I go away in September. That's when my holiday is this year. At the beginning, you meet Ginny, and she's got her radio show, and she's always been very good at listening to people and giving advice, but she's never particularly good at taking the advice that she gives. And one day on the radio show, she gets a call from somebody claiming to be Miss Peach, asking her what her qualifications are for giving advice to other people while her own life is falling apart. And Ginny is just there going, who are you? What are you talking about? And Miss Peach says, your husband. Look at your husband. And Ginny's just there going, what on earth is going on? So when she comes home from work, she goes to Adrian and says, oh, I had a really strange phone call today, but we're all good, aren't we? And she's like, yeah. And then she finds, when she goes to use Adrian's laptop for something, she notices a page open to a dating website that her husband has signed up for. And that's just, yeah, it was like, the phone call was like the catalyst for everything else happening, because even when you get to the end, Ginny's there going, oh, without that phone call, I may have not found out about everything else. And yeah, so she actually goes back on the radio and is very honest for the first time with her listeners. She just lays it all out and says, my husband is leaving me. I've booked this holiday for our anniversary, which he refuses to come on. So does anybody else want to come with me? Because originally it was supposed to be this really beautiful romantic hotel, and she's told that she can't get a refund, but she can swap things. So she can't get her money back, but she can change like the details, and so she changes it to a slightly cheaper hotel and invites, I think it's 4 of her listeners to join her in Italy. And yeah, it's very much a book about a woman finding herself after being married to the same person for, is it 25 years, I think it is? Yeah, it's 25th wedding anniversary she plans the trip for. And so, you know, she's got an adult daughter who is getting married and is in the process of planning a wedding. And yeah, you just see Ginny dealing with the fact that her husband seems to have fallen out of love with her, and there may be a little bit of romance for her along the way as well. It's just like a bit of like a cheesy rom-com, and because of it involves all the guests, Ginny with the listeners in Italy in this beautiful hotel. They've basically got this place to themselves. So it did give me kind of exotic Marigold Hotel vibes, just with all these different people being in this beautiful house overseas and stuff. So if you like the best exotic Marigold Hotel films, Was there a book there as well? I cannot remember. But if you like the vibes of Best Exotic Marigold Hotel, I think you'll enjoy the vibes of this. The idea of people finding themselves overseas. Because obviously it's not just Ginny who's finding herself. She invites other people who regularly phone in to her radio show who are also needing help of some kind. You've got one guy who's going through some grief, somebody else who's going through a similar thing in regards to a relationship breaking down. They've all got their own individual stories, and it's really nice to learn about those and see just the friendships that are made. You know, because they go into this holiday knowing nothing about each other. They're all virtual strangers, and then they're just something that happens, and the bonding. And I must admit, when they first arrived, Ginny's luggage has gone AWOL. Like, it's completely disappeared. She's forced to borrow from the owner's, his daughter's wardrobe, who is like 18, 19. Yeah, she tries to work that out until her luggage does actually finally turn up. The book was read by Claire Calverley, and it was one of those voices where it's just like, oh, I know this voice from somewhere. And then when I looked it up, it was just like, oh, this is somebody who has done quite a lot. She was Mrs. Soper in season 6 and 7 of Doc Martin. I was obsessed with Doc Martin, so I definitely saw her on there. She's done radio, she's done stage, but it's just like, yeah, she's one of those people that I'm sure you'll recognise from somewhere. I'm sure there's a few things in her CV that you'll be there going, I know who she is. Yeah. It was just a really, really sweet book. And I love a good coming of age story in a way, because you see, obviously, all of them are finding themselves after going through some kind of grief or bereavement, like just the end of a relationship. They're all going through something like that, but then you're also seeing the relationship between the owner of the hotel and his daughter, and the fact that his wife left them. And so he's kind of number 6 really of this group of people, dealing with things and learning from things and learning about themselves. Yeah, it's just really, really sweet. I really enjoy Phaedra Patrick's books, because obviously I've read other ones by her. I've read The Library of Lost and Found, I did The Secrets of Sunshine, and I swear there's another one. But it says she studied art and marketing and worked as a stained glass artist. That is so cool! She's also a film festival organiser and a communications manager, and her short stories have won competitions run by Penguin and Darley Anderson, and now she's a full-time writer. Oh, the more I find out about this woman, the more I love her. I have fallen in love with Phaedra Patrick, assuming that is how it's pronounced, because I'm totally confused at this point. But yeah, it's just so sweet, and it's not just about Ginny, even though you've seen it mainly from Ginny's point of view, but seeing the adventures that she gets up to in Italy, and the little adventures that she goes on, especially when she decides to sign up to the dating website that her husband Adrian is on, and she puts on quite a glamorous picture of herself and nicknames herself Jenny instead of Ginny, and Adrian says, oh, I want a piece of that, and she's just there thinking, does he not recognise me in that photo? And so she used that time to kind of just talk to her husband the way she used to talk to him, and you almost think of it as like proof that they were meant to be in a way. But then you also realise that after 25 years of a relationship and, you know, their grown-up daughter, that there's a lot that she needs to learn about herself before she can even think of forgiving Adrian for what he's done in regards to checking out of their relationship and going on dating websites while he was still married to her. I loved it. I loved it. The Little Italian Hotel by Phaedra Patrick. And that is your lovely, cute, wonderful front cover. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I can't see who did the artwork, but I think it's beautiful. It needs to be easier to see who does this kind of stuff, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. The people who design book covers, we always say don't judge a book by its cover, but it's the first thing you see. It's gonna happen. And so when you find a beautiful front cover, that person deserves just the world for what they do. It's an art form. It's truly an art form, and yeah, I have just great respect to people who can do stuff like that, because I always say that I'm not an artist. My mum likes to think I am, but I'm not. My mum is an artist. My sister is an artist. My cousin Sharon is an artist. My Auntie Diana is an artist. Me, I'm the writer, but they can draw and paint and actually make things look like real things. Me, when it comes to my art, I'm a bit more abstract. Now, I'm not saying that that's not art. It's just to say, like, if you want me to draw a person, you're getting a stick figure from me. No offence to anybody else like me, who that is the extent of their artistic abilities. I just really enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying Phaedra Patrick. I'm looking forward to reading more from her, whether it's in audiobook form or whether it's in physical book form. But anyway, I've done a bit of shopping today, so I'm going to go put some things away. I haven't had a bit of retail therapy in a while, and I treated myself to some nice things. There's nothing wrong with that. And plus, that is for future Debbie to deal with because it's on the credit card. Good girl, Debs. It's fine. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. Hello to the new subscribers. I've seen the number gone up a little bit recently, and it's so nice to have a little corner of the internet, my little corner of YouTube. But yeah, just thank you so much. Yeah, so don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Stay safe, my lovelies. Mwah. Goodbye.